Hello and welcome to another edition of Convict Inc. I'm your host, Robert Rosso. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so. If you like this video, please push like and share it with your family, friends, neighbors, enemies, etc. In 1998, Federal Bureau of Prisons, working with the U.S. Marshal Service, transported an inmate, a high-ranking member of the Aryan Brotherhood, from Marion, Illinois, to the Oklahoma City Transfer Center, where I had just arrived. At the time, I just came in with the fresh life sentence from Sebastian County, Arkansas. I was in the Oklahoma City Transfer Center for a week, and on the day that I was left to go on the air flight, this member was boarded onto the plane before everybody else. After leaving Oklahoma City, we did 3 stops. I believe it was West Virginia, or 2 stops. West Virginia, Butner, North Carolina, then West Virginia, and then the circle back to Leavenworth, Kansas. Once at the airport there, we were taken off the plane and put onto the bus. That was the first time that I really saw Michael McIlhenny, also known as Big Mac. Big Mac was a member of the federal AB and was housed at USP Leavenworth in 1994. During that time, he ran a bunch of numerous rackets, including drug distribution, and that's what they were sending him back to Leavenworth for, to face trial on drugs and murder charges. There was a drug charge and there was a murder involved during that drug conspiracy. While I was on the bus to USP Leavenworth, Big Mac was in the back of the van in a cage, along with a member of the Arizona Emmy, or the Mexican, whatever the Mexican, the ranking Mexican gang is in Arizona. I wanted to say Emmy, but I'm not sure, to be honest. I just drew a blank. I know the answer to that, I'm just drawing a blank. Anyway, they talked, and you can tell that these guys were both somebody. You can tell that these guys were in powerful gangs and had ranking status, for sure. What they were saying, I don't remember, because like I said, I just came in with the fresh life sentence, life without parole, possibility release, and here I was now on my way to Leavenworth, and as we pull up, boom, there it is. The last person off the bus was Big Mac. And I'm going to tell you something, and I've said it before in other videos, but this is about him specifically. I've never in my life seen an inmate, prisoner, convict treated with such respect. It was part fear, part intimidation, and part just gloating, like a god figure was there. There were numerous staff members that came out to greet this guy. And they brought him cigarettes, they gave him a lighter. It was crazy. I've never to this day seen something like that. He was very comfortable, knew most of them, joked with them, and then started demanding orders. Okay, I want you to go to B lower and get my care package, blah, blah, blah. And like, oh, we already got it. And I'm just like, okay. So anyway, Big Mac was then sent to the SHU. The Aryan Brotherhood was no longer on the line at the time in Leavenworth. There was one, his name was Red. I believe he was a dirty white boy turned AB, but he was definitely not out in Front Street. You knew there was an AB guy there, but it didn't really matter. And the truth be told, by 1999, there was an incident when the dirty white boys basically took over that prison. Anyway, Big Mac was sent to the special housing unit in Leavenworth, which is like a county jail within the prison. Leavenworth has 35, 40-foot red brick walls. The front of it is just a long building, which are the units. A cell house on one side, B cell house on the other. There's a rotunda in the middle, a hallway that goes down the center, and then the red brick wall surrounding it. The special housing unit is built within those walls. So Big Mac was sent to, I believe, B range, and on that range was also a guy by the name of Rusty Marks. Rusty Marks, who was a very good jailhouse lawyer then and has since become a phenomenal jailhouse lawyer who's now free like me and working on his law license currently, was able to talk to Mac. They knew each other from when Mac was there from 94 to 96 or 95, and Mac was representing himself. And Rusty helped him develop a trial strategy. And I'll get to that in a minute. Commonly what the Aryan Brotherhood do if they're facing trial and they're brought to a certain facility is they subpoena some of their brothers, the high-ranking guys in the gang. So that way they can all come together in one spot, have meetings, just kick it, discuss business, whatever. And that was no different at Leavenworth. What the staff did for them is they put them in a building called Building 63, which once housed the Birdman of Leavenworth, Stroud. If they say he's the Birdman of Alcatraz, that's not true. He's the Birdman of Leavenworth, but he was in Building 63, I think, for 22 years. There were no other inmates in that building, only members of the Aryan Brotherhood, some associates, and some affiliates. I want to say there was like 10 to 18. I'm not really sure. It's been a while. Actually, I have a note somewhere, way over there. Even in Building 63, which was isolated from the rest of the prison, through food service workers and guards, chaplains, psychologists, whatever, they were able to get notes out on the compound. One of the things that they wanted done was they wanted all the white guys to roll against the DC blacks to help fulfill their ongoing war with the DC blacks. A meeting was called by that 1AB called Red, and on that day is when Robert Wolf, the shot caller for the Dirty White Boys, was offended when Red said that the Dirty White Boys were going to lead the charge and that himself and other guys from California were not going to do anything because they needed to stay out after the war to like put things in order. Robert Wolf right then said, ABs aren't running shit. Go tell your I was right there. Go tell your sisters to fuck off. This is the Dirty White Boy yard. That's what happened at Leavenworth during that time. Because they were locked down, there was no retaliation. Nothing could really be done. None of the California guys that were riding with the brand or the Emmy bothered to do anything to the Dirty White Boys during that period, or ever. So now let's get to Mac's trial. He's got his crew of guys there that are going to testify as, I guess, character witnesses on his behalf, whatever. But he developed a trial, Rusty helped him develop a trial strategy. And that was all about appearance. What he did was he grew a big long beard and he wore an orange jumpsuit while he represented himself. And just as he thought, all the government witnesses, some former members of the Aryan Brotherhood, some guys that were involved in the drug conspiracy, and some just straight jimmies, testified against him. And sure enough, like he thought, they were all nice, clean cut, shaven, they looked like choir boys. On the final day of his trial, Big Mac came dressed nice, shaved, and looked like a choir boy himself. And when he gave his closing argument, he told the jury that he too can look like, I don't know if he said the word choir boy, like a good guy, whatever, but remember, those guys were all just like him, blah, blah, blah. Well, lucky for him, a lone female juror would not convict. Elsie would have been convicted that day. As a matter of fact, she fell in love with him. I don't know how that ended. I believe it did, but I don't know. In 2002, I believe they were, Big Mac and some of his bros were brought back to Leavenworth to face the second trial. And I thought that they were found guilty and that was that. I was just reading right now, they were found guilty. The judge made some kind of error. That trial was reversed, and then the third trial is what got him. Again, that was new to me when I was just going through some basic facts. But the biggest part of the story was really the trial strategy in which he flipped it on the government. dressing like a convict or a prisoner in all orange, doing the big beard thing, and then saying, all his witnesses are, that's pretty damn clever. Big Mac was only there for a short period of time. There has not been any members of the Aryan Brotherhood. Well, there was Red again, and I don't mean to dismiss him all the time, but he was like an AB in his own mind. There were guys that respected him because they were from California and stuff like that, but he didn't have backing of people, so he really wasn't able to do much. But the Aryan Brotherhood has all been vanished from Leavenworth and a lot of other prisons and the feds. Anyway, I just wanted to tell that story about Big Mac's trial. There's a lot of people that knew it. I was there, so I knew Rusty really well. Matter of fact, I talked to Rusty yesterday, but about how he came up with that trial strategy. And Big Mac did a really, really, really good job too. Smart guy. Well, I mean, yeah, smart guy, no doubt. But again, I want to just really highlight those guards. If he would have said "blow me," one of them for sure would have dropped to their knees. It was that crazy. That guy had that much power and respect. Got to give it to him, for real. Got to give it to him.